Hello, fight fans. I am here with Deji, who is getting ready for a battle with Vinnie Hacker. Deji is a very famous social media star and YouTuber, also has experience in the ring. Deji, thank you so much for joining me today.
No, thank you for having me.
So I'm kind of curious. It's really become a phenomenon, social media and boxing. There's this link that's there, and we're seeing it with your fights that you've got coming up in a week. We're seeing it with Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. What attracts the two together, and how did the two become so infused together?
I would say it's because there's money to be made, because each they have a following. So obviously Jake Paul having like such a social following, and then Tyron having such a fight following, and then just combining those two, it's just money to be made. That's why. So ultimately, it's just more eyes on the sport of boxing.
As far as you getting into it, obviously your older brother had experiences. What really got you immersed within boxing, and what drew you to it?
So all my life, I've been doing like some sort of combat. So for 8 years, I used to do judo. I did taekwondo when I was in school, same with karate. So I've always been doing some sort of combat. So now that I get to I essentially use what I've been taught, it's just fun, really. So I just enjoy it. I've never been afraid to get hit in the face, so that's why I'm up there for it. Yeah.
Now I know there's obviously the mix of, fame, money that's involved with it, and there seems to really be a high profile, especially with your followers of other YouTubers and social media stars. But is it also the thrill of, being in the ring and having that experience? Is that at the heart of it for you?
So I am a thrill seeker. I won't dispute that. Obviously, get my name out there is perfect too, but I'm mainly doing this for myself. Boxing and everything is mainly, I'm just doing this for myself. I am a thrill seeker, and yeah, I guess that's it really. I just like fighting. Fighting is awesome.
You had your fight with Jake Paul back in 2018, gave him a good run for his money, bloodied his nose, probably performed better than anyone we've seen him in there against. What did you learn from that experience, and how are you using that going forward?
So what I learned from that is nerves takes, oh my gosh, how do I put this? So nerves really is a huge factor in this, because I didn't know coming into it the nerves that I would feel, because instantly my legs went, and that's what I was told. The first thing that would go is my legs, and I was just stagnant. I was kind of like, oh gosh, this is real. So I'll probably say nerves. Obviously it was my first fight, and I didn't expect the crowd to be that huge. So yeah, I'll definitely say nerves, as well as I didn't really know how, which way I preferred to fight, if it was either orthodox or southpaw, and I've always been training southpaw, but for some reason in that fight with Jake, I was fighting orthodox, so my brain just was so muddled up, nothing made sense. So what I've learned from this fight is just to stay composed, and just I essentially train hard, fight easy.
Did you kind of get a sense, have you always been kind of ambidextrous, using both hands, or was it something that you just had to feel comfortable which stance worked best for you?
So I'm left-footed and right-handed. So it was weird. So when I did judo, I was already in the southpaw stance to do everything. So I think that's why I'm like fighting southpaw, whereas yeah, I think that's the reason, because I'm left-footed and right-handed. It's a weird, because most people are either right-handed, right-footed, and left-handed, left-footed. But I'm like left-footed, right-handed, so it's just all over the place, really.
So when you fight Vinny, which stance are you going to be in?
Oh, I'm a southpaw, of course, but I can switch.
You can switch. Okay,
yeah,
got you. Also in that Jake Paul fight, it really looked like it was more kind of like the gas in the tank kind of started to go at then. It wasn't so much that you were hurt. It was just the fatigue was really starting to set in. Is that kind of what you experienced?
So I'll say we're probably like the second round or no, I'll say third round. I really started to gas out. My tank wasn't the best because I was training. I was more doing spars than doing cardio, but now I guess I'm doing like both of them. I'm prioritizing both of them at the moment. So yeah, I do agree. And my gas tank was terrible at the time, but as of now, it's not that bad.
Well, and I think that's something that a lot of people, when they don't necessarily have that experience boxing, especially even MMA fighters, as we saw kind of with like Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, it's a whole different thing. It's almost like you got to be a marathon runner in there
Exactly.
and know how to pace it out. So as far as cardio, what have your cardio workouts looked like getting ready for this fight?
So because boxing is always a different pace, it's never the same pace. What I'm doing cardio wise is I'll do like a jog for a minute, then I'll sprint for 2 minutes, and then jog for a minute, then sprint for 2 minutes, and get to 20 minutes doing that, then take like a little break and do the exact same thing again, because it's never the same pace. So it's just basically I'm just adjusting to let's say if it's a fast-paced fight or a slow-paced fight, I'm just like essentially like get my body ready for that. So yeah.
Kind of doing a little bit of research on you and Vinny. Obviously, YouTube being the primary means here, it's kind of interesting, being a journalist. A lot of times when I look at boxers, I'm looking at different stories, but you guys have so much content that's out there about you, and it's all video. I saw some sparring footage of you. I saw some sparring footage of Vinny. It really seems like you've, not to say transformed your body, but you've really gotten into great shape. Do you see a big difference between where you're at now versus where you were when you fought Jake?
So where I'm at now, how do I put this? So I was like, after my fight with Jake, I was like a couch potato. I literally had like a beer belly. I was terrible. I couldn't even bend down without making a noise. It was terrible. And now from that to how I am now, I weigh more, but I'm more mobile than I was when I was fighting Jake. So I guess essentially I do feel better at this weight, but I do want to slim down more, of course. Yeah.
As far as the footage you've seen on Vinny, what did you think about his sparring footage and some of the video that's out there?
So I haven't found any sparring footage of Vinny.
Yeah, I saw some videos that were out there that purported to show him doing some training and things of that nature on there.
Well, I have seen some video of Vinny like hitting pads or like hitting the bag or something. And I mean, because he is new to boxing, he's not bad. I won't say he's terrible, but that doesn't matter. I'm gonna destroy him regardless. So yeah.
What do you see? I don't know if you have an official fight prediction for this one. How do you see this thing going?
I'm taking him out in the first or second round, definitely.
Okay, got you. As far as obviously you've done this before, the future of this for you, where would you like to see this go for you in the future?
I want to absolutely take out everybody in this whole YouTube thingy, this whole social media boxing thing. I want to take them all out, honestly. So, and realistically, anybody who wants it can get it. Anybody who wants it can get it. There are a few people that I can't be asked. I can't be asked to fight like Slim or something because it just doesn't make sense. But realistically, yeah, anybody who wants it can get it. Yeah.
We've seen where Jake's kind of taken it, where he's really starting a foray into professional boxing. Is that something that you would want to do, or are you okay keeping it amateur?
I would love to have a pro license, go pro. I hope my next fight is a pro fight, honestly. So yeah.
Do you see this this pairing of social media and boxing being something that continues on because there is so much popularity behind it, or do you feel like eventually it kind of runs out of steam and loses its luster?
I don't see it losing its luster because before this happened, the whole boxing scene was quite dead. I mean, there were only a few main like names like Usyk. I think I said his name right. Usyk.
Yep.
Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, I guess maybe a few others. They're just like heavyweights. It was just mainly like the heavyweight fighters who were bringing the sport to life. But now, as you know, social media stars are now getting involved in boxing. I feel like it's somewhat revived the sport, in my opinion. So yeah.
Do you see the main drive? Obviously, there's money and there's a following that gets developed, but do you see that with other YouTubers, other social media stars, that there's a genuine, I don't know if it's passion, but a genuine enjoyment of boxing?
So I know for a fact that a lot of people can't do boxing because as much it is fun, but obviously watching it from a screen, it looks easy. But when you actually step foot in the ring, if you get like a hard smack in the face, then you're gonna like come to reality and realize, okay, this is hard. I guess the moment you'll kind of realize if this is for you or not is like hard sparring. If you have hard sparring and literally get messed up and you're still okay with it, then I guess the sport is for you, but it's not for everyone. So obviously there is fame, there is money to be made, but it's a risk as well, because like anything could happen. Bleeding to the brain, your jaw could get broken, anything is possible. So it's a huge risk.
Before I let you go here, I got to ask your opinion on a few matchups here. What do you think about Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul? How do you see this whole thing playing out?
I mean, I saw the recent rules. I think it's stupid, the rules, but I guess they're kind of doing what Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. did. But I see I mean, I want to support the YouTuber side, obviously, because Logan's a YouTuber, but I just don't see Logan winning. I see Floyd just taking him out.
Yeah.
Because that's my prediction. I think Floyd's gonna knock him out. Yeah.
Your former opponent, Jake Paul, recently announced that he's going to be fighting Tyron Woodley. He's, got things going on with Showtime. How do you see that matchup playing out?
So from the grapevine, what I heard is that Jake Paul wants a rematch clause. He's the one who like put that forward. So just that alone tells me he's afraid. So I do believe that Tyron will beat Jake.
How do you see that one ending?
Probably third round. You'll just clip him and drop Jake. That's what I think. Yeah.
Do you think that there's, last question for me, that there's the possibility that out of all the different social media people that are taking parts in the fight, that there's one that maybe can go and really cement maybe a respectable career as a boxer? I mean, Jake is already doing some things, but he's fought like a Nate Robinson and Ben Askren, which again, Ben was a really real fighter, but maybe not in the best shape when he fought. Do you see that there is that potential for a crossover and kind of really doing something larger in the sport?
I mean, anything is possible, really. I mean, we've seen that. I never thought Logan would fight Floyd Mayweather, but that's what I mean. Anything is possible. Literally anything is possible. So.
Well, I'll be watching everything. So Deji, thank you so much for your time and best of luck. I hope to see you victorious, and I'll be looking for that first or second round knockout.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Have a good one.
You too. Take care, man.